There comes a time when you realize that what you're seeking so desperately is not something to chase after, it's something to align with. We live in a world that teaches us from an early age to run towards success, to chase love, to pursue happiness like it's somewhere out there, always just beyond reach. But I want to invite you to consider something much deeper, something far more powerful. You don't need to chase anything. When you become who you truly are, what you once chased begins to flow to you effortlessly. Think of the ocean. The waves don't chase the shore, they move in harmony with the tides. The birds don't chase the wind, they ride on its current. Nature doesn't struggle or strive, it allows, it aligns, it simply is. And you, as a part of that same divine intelligence, have the same power. What you attract into your life is not based on how hard you work or how desperately you want something. It is based on who you are. If you are radiating fear, scarcity, and neediness, you attract more situations that confirm those feelings. But if you shift into love, gratitude, and trust, you begin to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your higher state of being. You are not a beggar of the universe. You are a co-creator with it. You don't need to plead for abundance or love. You need only to become abundant and loving in your thoughts, your energy, your presence. Everything you desire is already here, existing in the unseen, waiting for you to align with it. So ask yourself, are you chasing or are you allowing? Are you trying to force things to happen, or are you trusting in the divine timing and wisdom of life? The moment you stop chasing is the moment you reclaim your power. You don't need to chase love. Become love. You don't need to chase success. Live in purpose. You don't need to chase peace. Be still and know that peace is already within you. Let go of the striving. Let go of the proving. Let go of the desperate reaching for something to fill the void. You are not lacking. You are not incomplete. You are whole. And when you begin to live from that awareness, the things you once pursued begin to pursue you. Remember, the law of attraction is not about getting, it's about becoming. Become what you seek, and what you seek will find its way to you. Effortlessly, naturally, divinely. So stop chasing, start attracting, and watch your life transform. When you are in a state of chasing something, whether it's a person, a goal, money, recognition, or success, you are unknowingly reinforcing a message of lack to yourself and to the universe. Chasing begins with the belief that what you desire is separate from you, out there somewhere, and that you must strive, push, or struggle to get it. This mental and emotional posture creates inner tension. That tension, that feeling of incompleteness, becomes the energy you project. The universe does not respond to your words or your wishes. It responds to your energy. When your energy says, I don't have it yet, but I need it, you're sending out a signal of resistance. Resistance in this context is the very force that keeps the object of your desire at a distance. This resistance manifests in many ways: anxiety, impatience, doubt, frustration. These feelings are not just mental, they carry a vibrational frequency. When you dwell in them, you align with more experiences that generate those same emotions. For example, if you are chasing love, constantly searching for someone to complete you, the energy you emit is neediness or fear of being alone. This makes it difficult for genuine, balanced love to enter your life. Instead, you may attract relationships that mirror your insecurity or end up repelling the very connection you long for. Because the energy behind your actions is not one of wholeness, but of emptiness. The same principle applies to money, career goals, or personal achievement. Chasing money, for instance, often comes from a scarcity mindset, the belief that there is not enough and that you must hustle endlessly to earn your share. In this mindset, you are vibrating at the level of fear and because like attracts like, this energy draws more scarcity experiences into your life. Unexpected expenses, lost opportunities, or constant financial worry. The harder you chase, the more elusive, financial ease becomes. You end up locked in a cycle where effort increases, but results diminish, all because resistance is at the core. This doesn't mean you should be passive or idle in life, but there is a vast difference between inspired action and desperate chasing. Inspired action comes from alignment. It feels joyful, effortless, and guided. Chasing, on the other hand, feels exhausting and often forced. When you chase, you are trying to manipulate outcomes, control people, or force life to bend to your will. This forceful approach closes you off from the natural flow of life. It tightens your energy, narrows your perception, and blinds you to the opportunities and synchronicities that arise when you are relaxed, open, and trusting. Resistance also distorts your perception of time. When you are in chasing mode, it always feels like time is running out. You live with a sense of urgency and restlessness, which only amplifies stress. This constant pressure can make you miss the beauty of the present moment, where your real power lies. You become so focused on the destination that you forget the journey itself is sacred, and in missing the present, you remain disconnected from your source of peace, inspiration, and clarity. Ultimately, chasing is rooted in fear, the fear that you are not enough as you are, that life won't deliver what you need unless you fight for it. But this fear is a lie. When you quiet the mind and return to a place of stillness, you remember that the universe operates in harmony, not struggle. Life was never meant to be a constant chase. You are meant to receive, to flow, to attract what aligns with your highest self, not because you chased it down, but because you became the person to whom it naturally flowed. When you release the need to chase, you release resistance, and in that space of ease and surrender, the things you once ran after begin to find their way to you. Attraction is not something that happens by accident, nor is it the result of wishful thinking or sheer determination. It is the natural outcome of alignment. When your inner world is in harmony with what you desire, you become a magnet for those very things. Alignment means your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions are all moving in the same direction, and that direction is one of peace, trust, and clarity. You do not have to chase what you want when you are aligned with it. It is drawn to you because you are in a receptive state, not a resistant one. At the core of alignment is a deep understanding that you already possess within you the essence of everything you seek. If you desire love, it is because the energy of love already exists in you and is seeking expression. If you long for abundance, it is because abundance is a natural state of the universe and you are meant to experience it. When you align with these truths, truly believe them, feel them, and live from them, you begin to emit a frequency that resonates with the very things you wish to experience. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself to be happy or positive. True alignment is authentic. It comes from tuning into the deeper part of yourself, the part that knows you are connected to something greater, that life is working for you, not against you. When you are aligned, you are not controlled by fear, doubt, or scarcity. Instead, you operate from a place of trust, knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time and in the right way. One of the most powerful aspects of alignment is emotional congruence. Many people think they are attracting something simply because they want it, but wanting alone does not create attraction. Wanting often carries the energy of lack. If your desire is filled with impatience, worry, or a sense of desperation, then you are out of alignment with that desire. To truly attract something, you must feel as though you already have it, or at least know it is on its way with certainty. This emotional congruence sends a clear and powerful signal into the world, and life responds. When you are aligned, you are tuned into the right frequency. You cannot hear the music on 101 FM if you're tuned into 98.7 FM, no matter how much you want it. The signal you send out must match the signal of what you want to receive. Alignment is that perfect tuning. You align your energy with love, peace, abundance, and joy, and those experiences begin to show up in your life, not by force, but by resonance. This alignment also extends to your actions. When you are aligned internally, your external actions are naturally in flow. You are inspired to take steps that support your desires, not because you feel you must, but because it feels right. There is no pressure, no strain, just a sense of being guided. The right people, opportunities, and circumstances start appearing without struggle because your energy is inviting them. Another vital part of alignment is presence. When you are truly present, you are not projecting your energy into the future. You are grounded in the now, which is the only place where attraction actually occurs. The present moment is where your power lives, and when you anchor yourself there, you are more in tune with your intuition, more aware of subtle guidance, and more open to receive. Ultimately, alignment is about being in harmony with life itself. It is choosing to live not from the ego's demands or fears, but from the soul's knowing. When you make that shift, life becomes less about effort and more about flow. You no longer feel the need to chase after things because you realize that everything you desire is already moving toward you, as long as you remain open, aligned, and receptive. Attraction is not magic. It is the natural result of living in harmony with who you truly are. Every desire you have originates from a place within you that recognizes it as possible. You don't long for things you're incapable of experiencing. You long for them because they are already aligned with your potential. The key to realizing those desires is to match their energy, to become the vibration of what you want. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and intentions all carry a vibration. And this vibration determines what you attract into your life. You cannot attract love while holding on to resentment or fear of being alone. You cannot attract abundance while embodying scarcity or worry. To become the vibration of what you want means to feel, think, and act as though it is already a part of you. This doesn't mean you pretend or fake it. Rather, it means you intentionally cultivate the inner state that matches your desire. If you want peace, become peaceful within. If you want success, cultivate feelings of confidence, clarity, and purpose. When your internal state resonates with the energy of your desire, it begins to manifest around you naturally. Your external world is always a reflection of your inner world. When people speak about the law of attraction, they often focus on getting or acquiring something. But true attraction is about becoming. When you become the kind of person who naturally experiences love, abundance, health, or joy, you no longer need to pursue those things. They flow to you because your energy is an open invitation. Consider the energy of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. When you live in gratitude, you are not yearning or grasping, you are appreciating, which tells the universe that you are already in possession of what you want. This attitude draws more into your life that is worthy of gratitude. The same principle applies to any other state: joy, compassion, generosity. Whatever you practice internally becomes your dominant vibration, and that vibration is what shapes your reality. To be the vibration of what you want also requires awareness and discipline over your inner. You cannot say to yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never have what I want," and expect to attract positive outcomes. The words you speak internally are not just thoughts, they are creative force. Each thought is a signal you send out, and consistent thoughts create patterns of energy that the universe responds to. When you notice limiting beliefs, shift them gently. Replace them with affirming, supportive truths that align with the life you want to live. Feelings are even more powerful than thoughts. You can think positively, but if your emotions are still rooted in fear, doubt, or resentment, your vibration will reflect those emotions. This is why it is important to process and release emotional blocks. Forgive where you are holding on to pain. Let go of grievances that lower your vibration. Emotional healing is not just about feeling better, it is about becoming energetically aligned with your higher self. Taking inspired action is also part of becoming the vibration of what you. When you act from alignment, your actions are powerful because they are infused with clarity and intention. You are not acting from desperation or fear, but from a place of trust and inner knowing. These kinds of actions open doors, create connections, and bring about outcomes that feel synchronistic because they are ultimately everything you seek is seeking you, but it cannot reach you if you are vibrating at a frequency of resistance. When you choose to embody the energy of your desires, life responds accordingly. You move from trying to get to simply allowing and receiving. The more you become what you seek, the less effort is needed to attract. You realize that the power has always been within you, not in the outer world, but in the vibration you choose to hold. There is a natural rhythm to life, a flow that is constantly unfolding with precision and purpose, even when it appears chaotic on the surface. When you let go and trust divine timing, you surrender the need to control every detail and outcome. You release the anxiety that arises from trying to force things to happen on your schedule. Trusting in divine timing means recognizing that there is a wisdom greater than your own mind guiding the events of your life. It is an invitation to rest in the knowledge that everything you seek is on its way to you, not necessarily when you want it, but exactly when you are ready to receive it. Letting go is not about giving up or abandoning your dream. It is about loosening your grip, releasing the tension, and allowing space for miracles to unfold. Often the need to control stems from fear. The fear that life will not deliver what you desire, that you must fight or manipulate in order to make things happen. But this fear creates resistance. It blocks the very things you are trying to manifest. When you hold on too tightly, you close yourself off from possibilities that might be far better than what you had imagined. By trusting divine timing, you step into a place of peace and acceptance. You begin to understand that delays are not denials. They are often divine redirections or preparations. Sometimes what you want is being prepared for you, or you are being prepared for it. Growth, healing, and insight often need to occur before you can fully receive and sustain what you desire. When you trust the process, you give yourself the grace to evolve without pressure, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. This trust allows you to remain present. Instead of constantly projecting your energy into an imagined future, worrying about when something will happen, you return to the now, the only place where life truly exists. In the present moment, you can hear your inner guidance more clearly, and you can notice the subtle signs and synchronicities that are always pointing you in the right direction. These signs often go unnoticed when you are consumed by impatience or frustration, but when you are calm and open, they appear with astonishing clarity. Letting go also means letting go of the how. You may know what you desire, but you do not always know the best way for it to come into your life. Trusting divine timing involves trusting divine intelligence, trusting that life can orchestrate events, connections, and opportunities far more beautifully than your limited perspective could plan. When you release your need for certainty and allow yourself to be guided, you often find that life unfolds in ways that are more fulfilling and meaningful than you could have imagined. This surrender is not passive, it is deeply powerful. It is the strength that comes from faith, the inner knowing that you are supported, that you are not alone. When you let go of urgency, you begin to embody patience, not as waiting in frustration, but as a peaceful openness, a quiet confidence that everything is unfolding perfectly. Trusting divine timing also cultivates gratitude. When you are no longer rushing or resisting, you begin to appreciate what you have now. Gratitude elevates your vibration and keeps you in alignment with the flow of life. It allows you to see each moment as purposeful, even if it doesn't yet make sense. In this space, you are able to receive the lessons, the beauty, and the transformation that each phase of life offers. Ultimately, letting go and trusting divine timing is about living in harmony with the greater rhythm of existence. It is about remembering that life is not random and you are not forgotten. What is meant for you is already making its way to you in perfect time. Your task is not to force it, but to stay open, stay aligned, and allow it to arrive. There is a deep and eternal truth that many people spend their entire lives overlooking. You are already whole and complete exactly as you are. From the moment of your birth, you have carried within you everything you need to live a meaningful, peaceful, and fulfilling life. The idea that you are incomplete or lacking in some way is a falsehood, an illusion created by a world that teaches you to seek validation, love, and worth from outside yourself. But no matter how far you stray from this truth, it remains unchanged. You are enough. From an early age, society conditions you to believe that you must achieve certain things, acquire certain possessions, or be approved of by others in order to feel worthy. The media, education systems, and cultural norms often reinforce this idea of deficiency. They tell you that you need to be more successful, more attractive, more intelligent, or more accomplished to truly matter. But the more you chase after external completion, the more disconnected you become from your inner self, the part of you that is eternal, unchanging, and already whole. Wholeness is not something you attain, it is something you recognize. It is not found in status, relationships, or material things. It is found in your being, in the awareness that behind your thoughts, behind your emotions, behind all the roles you play in life, there is a quiet presence, a stillness that is untouched by the chaos of the world. This presence is your true self. It is not wounded, it is not broken, and it does not need fixing. It simply is. Many people live as though something is missing, constantly trying to fill an inner void. They look for fulfillment in relationships, achievements, or possessions, believing that once they get that something, they will finally feel whole. But even after attaining what they thought they needed, the feeling of incompleteness often returns. That's because the void cannot be filled by something external. It can only be filled by realizing that the void itself is an illusion. When you reconnect with your inner self, when you begin to understand that you are already whole, a profound shift occurs. You stop striving to prove yourself. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop looking outside for answers that only exist within. You begin to live from a place of inner peace and self-acceptance. You start to see that your value does not depend on what you do or what you have. It is inherent, unchangeable, and absolute. This realization also changes how you relate to others. When you see yourself as whole, you no longer seek others to complete you. You no longer expect someone else to fill your emotional gaps or heal your pain. Instead, you can love freely without attachment or neediness. Relationships become an expression of your wholeness, not a desperate search for it. You no longer give your power away because you know that nothing outside of you can define who you are. Living from the awareness of your completeness brings freedom. You are no longer trapped by the fear of not being good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. You can live authentically without masks or pretense. You can follow your inner guidance, make choices that resonate with your soul, and experience life fully, not because you are trying to become something, but because you are expressing what you already are. This truth is simple, but it is powerful. You do not need to be more, do more, or have more to be whole. You are whole in this moment. You were whole yesterday, and you will be whole tomorrow. Nothing can add to you, and nothing can take away from you. The journey is not about becoming, it is about remembering who you have always been. In a world that constantly rewards action, ambition, and relentless striving, it can be difficult to understand the profound power of inner stillness. We are taught to believe that if we want to achieve something, we must work harder, push more, and chase after it with everything we have. While there is value in focused effort, true power does not come from endless doing. It arises from being. Life, in its most harmonious and responsive form, does not react to the frantic energy of outer striving, but to the calm, receptive energy of inner stillness. Inner stillness is not the absence of movement or the cessation of goals. It is a state of being rooted in awareness, presence, and peace. When your mind is quiet and your heart is open, you connect with the deeper intelligence that governs life itself. In this space, you are no longer driven by fear or lack. You are no longer chasing outcomes or forcing solutions. Instead, you are allowing life to unfold through you, guided by intuition and aligned with purpose. Outer striving often arises from a sense of incompleteness, a belief that you must achieve something to be enough or to be happy. This energy of striving is filled with tension, impatience, and resistance. It can lead to burnout, frustration, and disappointment because it is disconnected from the natural rhythm of life. When you are constantly striving, you are trying to control life rather than flow with it. You may achieve certain things through sheer force, but they often come with a cost: your peace, your joy, or your sense of connection. Inner stillness, on the other hand, is a gateway to alignment. In stillness, you become attuned to the present moment, where all the wisdom and guidance you need is already available. You begin to notice synchronicities, opportunities, and solutions that arise effortlessly, without struggle. This does not mean you do nothing, but rather that your actions emerge from clarity and inspiration, not from stress or compulsion. Stillness creates space for insight and creativity to arise naturally. When you are still, you are receptive. You are open to receive what life is offering you rather than chasing what you think you need. This receptivity allows you to respond to life instead of reacting to it. You make decisions from a place of calm discernment rather than emotional reactivity. You move with life instead of against it, and in doing so, you experience a greater sense of ease, grace, and flow. The most meaningful and lasting manifestations often come not from striving, but from surrender to the intelligence of life, to divine timing, to the awareness that you are part of something greater. In stillness, you remember your connection to that greater source, and from this remembrance, your actions become powerful, not because they are forceful, but because they are aligned. Stillness also cultivates trust. When you are still, you come into contact with your inner knowing, the quiet voice within that assures you everything is unfolding as it should. This trust dissolves anxiety and fear, and in its place, you experience peace. From this peace, life becomes a dance, not a battle. You realize that what is meant for you will not require you to exhaust yourself. It will come through resonance, not resistance. Ultimately, life mirrors your state of being. When you are frantic, life feels chaotic. When you are still, life responds with clarity. The outer world is a reflection of your inner world. By choosing stillness over striving, you allow life to meet you with grace, bringing the right people, circumstances, and experiences into your path. Not because you chased after them, but because you became the space in which they could arrive.